been a while since I've had a live show. It's been a while. Still haven't fully recovered from COVID. I'm getting there. The biggest thing is getting my taste back. That's. I don't think I 100% believed them whenever they said you lost your when you get COVID you lose your taste. I believe them now. So, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good now. Getting back to normal. Starting to feel normal. Just the taste thing, and it affects you more than you realize. I'm telling you. Even the smallest thing, like y'all know me. If you're a long-time subscriber, you know me. I love my Pepsi. When you can't taste what you love, it's a problem. It's a big-time problem. I couldn't tell the difference between Coke or Pepsi, and that blew my mind. It was just it all tasted bad. Fortunately, taste is coming back. I can taste my Pepsi, so that puts me in a good mood. How's everybody doing? It's been a while since I've seen y'all. Glad y'all stuck by me, got through the sickness that I had, so, yeah. We made it through it. Alright, so, I did a contest a while back, a Super Chat contest, and, the winner turned out to be Raj, and basically the way the thing worked out was, every $5 that you Super Chatted was an entry, and he PayPal'd me, $50, so he had 10 entries. I drew him. He got his helmet today. He made a video about it if you want to see it. And actually, in one of my videos that I made, I put a link to that video. And there was two prizes. The first one was a prize worth $50 from Tri-State Wood Sketch. If you go look at my videos, I showed that. Joey decided to do a wood sketch helmet with the words Raj. He should be getting that shortly. But he's already gotten the full-size helmet. And he already had a red... He's a Georgia fan. He already had a red Georgia helmet. So he requested a black Georgia helmet. My gosh, the biggest pain ever to find. Well, not to find, but to order. You can find it fairly easy. But the problem is, whenever I ordered it, they would always say, we oversold. We oversold. What? You're taking too many orders and you're saying yes to something you don't have. Finally, I found a site. We got the full-size helmet to him, and he likes it. That's the main thing. Whenever I'm giving out prizes, I want my subscribers and my members to enjoy the prize. So the fact that he made a video on it and he looked really excited about it, I think it looks pretty good too. It came with the Oakley shield. The visor in the front, the Oakley shield. It's a black helmet with the red Georgia G and a white stripe down the middle. For a Georgia helmet, I think it looks fine. So, I said that to say this. New Super Chat contest. But this isn't going to be a drawing. This is going to be actual, well, skill involved. So, the contest that I came up with is my bowl contest. Alright, so here's how it works. Same rules as last time as far as how you get entered. A $5 Super Chat or a $5 PayPal, and my mods will put the PayPal link in the description. Whichever way you want to do it, gets you one entry. But instead of just writing your name down, putting it in a hat, drawing your name out, you actually try to use your score guessing skills, and it's going to be the bowls, and we're doing all of them, so there is a lot of them. So a $5 Super Chat is one entry, $10 two entries, 15 three, and so on and so forth. So if you want more than one entry, you know, counting fives, it's basically like that. And even if if this turns out to be a bust of a contest and only one person enters, they're still going to win $100. That's the prize for it this time. Money. Because I waited till the last minute to try to think of a prize. So instead of a prize, it's going to be money. $100. So, yeah. If only one person enters, well, they could miss every stinking bowl and they would still win the $100 because I guarantee my prizes. All right, so That's actually kind of what I wanted to talk about. The bowls. What bowls are y'all looking forward to? I'm sure it's whatever team you're pulling for. Now, I'm a West Virginia fan, and to be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to the West Virginia Bowl the most. I mean, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Minnesota, we've never played them. It's out in Arizona. I think the game starts at like 10 o'clock, so if you want to watch the entire game, you're going to be up till like 2 a.m. Not excited about that. Not at all. But there's a lot of matchups out there, even in bowls that are not in the New Year's Six or not in the playoffs, that are pretty exciting. And I wanted to go through some of them. And I wanted to keep an eye on my comment section, see what bowls you guys were excited about, and we can talk about those bowls as well. So, yeah, let's get to the bowls. I did see a comment already about the Alamo Bowl. Number 14, Oregon against number 16, Oklahoma. You know, on paper, that looks like a pretty good bowl. The problem that I have with that bowl is I think both of those teams had a letdown year. Oregon, at one point, had big-time playoff aspirations. I think they were up to number 2 at one time. Like, they were headed to the playoffs. All they had to do is get through their easy Pac-12 schedule, and off to the playoffs they go. And, of course, they got beat by a bad Stanford team and then got whooped twice. Not once, but twice by Utah. And for Oklahoma, they were barely surviving people, and then it finally caught up to them. They finally had to play Oklahoma State and Baylor and lost to both of them. So, Oregon 10-3 because they lost twice in the regular season, and then, of course, in the Pac-12 championship. And Oklahoma comes limping in at 10-2. Now, as far as excitement goes, yeah, this could be exciting. Problem is, Oregon will be missing their best player. Definitely their best player on defense is probably their best player in the entire team. He's skipping the bowl to enter the NFL draft. Kayvon Thibodeau. Dynamic player, game changer, that will matter. As far as Oklahoma, I haven't heard any major names that are sitting at the bowl, but maybe I've missed something. We do know that Spencer Rattler has transferred over to South Carolina, but, you know, he was the backup quarterback anyways. I still think he was the better quarterback. Yes, I stand by that. I think Spencer Rattler is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. It's his attitude and mentality. He's got to get that attitude in check. Because if you look at the stats, I mean, his completion percentage was 12%. 12% higher than Caleb Williams. Spencer Rattler's was at 74%, which is really good. And Caleb Williams at 62%. That's not terrible. That's a big gap, though. So, he has got to get that attitude in check if he wants to have any type of success at South Carolina, especially at South Carolina, because South Carolina, they don't have a lot of superstars, and they have to win as a team. If you want to win at South Carolina, you have to win as a team because they don't recruit at a super high level like Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma averages at least in the top 15, maybe in the top 10 as far as recruiting classes. So, you know, at Oklahoma, you can do your thing. You can let that superstar do his thing. I mean, you're still a team. But at South Carolina, I mean, everybody has to work together cohesively as a unit. So that's the biggest thing that I'll be looking at for Spencer Rattler. But as far as the Alamo Bowl, Oklahoma is the 4.5-point favorite. I think that is, I can agree with that because Oregon missing Kayvon, their best player, and to be honest with you, I never bought into Oregon, especially after, I mean, they had, for the longest time, they had the best win against Ohio State, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But something didn't look right about them, and then they go on the road and lose to a terrible Stanford team who ended up with 3 wins at the end of the season. 3. That's a bad team. And then, of course, they get blown out twice by Utah. So, yeah, I would agree with that. Oklahoma being the favorite by 4.5. So, yeah, I would pick Oklahoma in that matchup. Final score, I mean, both of these teams don't have a very good defense. Oregon's defense is going to be even worse because Kayvon is not going to be in it. So, I think this is going to be a shootout. I mean, something like maybe 45-38, something like that. But yeah, I would take Oklahoma. Real quick, if you haven't already, try to hit that like button. It's easy, it's free, and it helps the video tremendously. Or if you want to hit the thumbs down. If you don't like it and you want to hit the thumbs down, that's fine as well. What that does, it hits the YouTube algorithm, and YouTube sends it to more places. So basically, it draws more people in because more people see it. So that little simple like button or thumbs down is a big help, and I would truly appreciate it. Let's see. Get some opinions here. Colden says, I got Oklahoma 49-35. I can believe that too. That's definitely a believable score. Very good. I like it. So yes, I agree with the line, and it could actually be a bigger win than 4.5. I would say Oklahoma by at least a touchdown. That's just my opinion. Could be a entertaining bowl if we want to use that word, but as far as like excited about it, I don't know. Maybe if I start thinking about it more and hyping myself about it, I don't know. That's the only way I can get into that. But there's a lot of other bowls as well that's not in the New Year's Six or the playoff. So my bowl contest works exactly like my helmet contest, except we're not drawing your name out. So if you want to get entered into my bowl contest, $5 either through Super Chat or $5 to PayPal. Every $5 is one entry. So if you want more than one entry, then 10, 15, count by fives, and each $5 donation is one entry. But I'm not drawing it out of a hat. You're actually going to guess the winner of the bowls. So whoever guesses the most correct wins out of all the bowls, and I guess the tiebreaker will be, we'll go with the score prediction of the national championship. If there's a tie, whoever comes closest to the actual score of the national championship will win. So yeah, this is going to be an actual testing your knowledge or who you think is going to win. We're not going to go against the spread, nothing like that. It's straight up, who do you think is going to win each and every single bowl? And there's a lot of them. So just so we don't miss one, if you're interested in getting in this contest, and by the way, the bowls start on Friday. So I'm going to have a live show tonight. I'm going to have a live show tomorrow. And I'm going to have a live show on Thursday. So there'll be 3 live shows before the first bowl game. And then the cutoff for emailing me your picks for the bowls will be 7 p.m. on Friday. Because once the bowls start, there's no guessing because, of course, you'll pick the winner. So 7 p.m. on Friday, you have 3 live shows to Super Chat or PayPal me. Every $5 you send equals 1 entry. So here are all the bowls. I'm not going to go in super depth with them, but I want to list them for you, okay? So we have the Bahamas Bowl. Middle Tennessee against Toledo. Hold on one second. Every time I go live, my stinking cats go crazy. Stop being loud. What is your problem? Yeah, they know. Freaking hides because they know. They hide because they know. They know. Anyways, Middle Tennessee against Toledo. Nobody cares bowl, but it counts towards the contest. The Bahamas Bowl. Middle Tennessee 6-6. Toledo 7-5. Toledo 10-point favorite. So that's the Bahamas Bowl. The Cure Bowl. This is one of the bowls that could be a sleepy good bowl. I'm gonna be watching this bowl. The Cure Bowl, Northern Illinois, the MAC champs. They're going to be taking on Coastal Carolina, who I think they were second in the Sun Belt East. But Northern Illinois 9-4, Coastal Carolina 10-2. Big time spread though. Coastal Carolina favored by 10.5. So I think it'll be closer than that because Northern Illinois looked good in the MAC championship. The Boca Raton Bowl, Western Kentucky 8-5 against Appalachian State, who's 10-3. App State 3-point favorite. That could be a sneaky good bowl. New Mexico Bowl, UTEP 7-5 against Fresno State 9-3. I don't think I agree with the spread here. Fresno State 11.5 point favorite. I think I think Fresno State will blow them out. Y'all need to stop fighting. You're getting on my nerves. Every time I go live, y'all do this nonsense. Stop it. Man. Fresno State. Yeah, I think Fresno State will blow them out, to be honest with you. Independence Bowl. This is a crazy matchup. UAB 8-4 against number 13 BYU, who's 10-2, and BYU, the unofficial Pac-12 South champs. So BYU 7-point favorite. I agree with that spread. Could turn out to be a blowout. Lending Tree Bowl. Eastern Michigan Liberty. Both of these teams 7-5. Liberty 9.5-point favorite. Not interested, but it will be included on the bowl contest. The LA Bowl. 10-3 Utah State. Unexpected Mountain West champs. They're going against Oregon State 7-5. Oregon State actually had a decent season. They looked relatively good. And the Beavers are 7-point favorites, so that might be a good one. The New Orleans Bowl, I'm actually interested in this one. Number 23, Louisiana, Sun Belt champs, taking on 7-5 Marshall. I hope Louisiana beats the absolute snot out of Marshall. I can't stand Marshall, and Louisiana is a 5-point favorite. Do your thing, Louisiana, and cover that 5. The Myrtle Beach Bowl, Old Dominion 6-6 against Tulsa 6-6. Tulsa 9.5-point favorite. Don't care about it, but if you're going to be doing the bowl contest, got to pick a winner. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Man, Kent State 7-6. They played 13 games. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. They made the MAC championship. They lost, but they made it. That's why they're 7-6. Man, a 7-5 record, and you make your conference championship. What in the world? That's crazy. But they're going to be taking on 6-6 Wyoming. Wyoming is a 3-point favorite. Don't really care about that one. Here's a good one. The Frisco Bowl. UTSA 12-1 against number 24 San Diego State, who's 11-2. San Diego State, they were undefeated, and then I think they lost 2 out of their last 3. And then UTSA, they lost their last regular season game against North Texas. So kind of a letdown. But UTSA is a 2.5-point favorite. That's going to be a good one. I'm going to be watching it. The Armed Forces Bowl. Missouri 6-6 going against 8-4 Army. Army 3.5-point favorite. That would be a good win for Army over an SEC team, but will the pressure of thinking about, having that feather in your cap, beating an SEC team? I don't know. Don't count Missouri out of that one. The Frisco Bowl Classic. This is the bowl that they had to think of because more teams became bowl eligible than there were actual bowls. So this isn't an every year bowl. This was made up this year. North Texas 6-6. The only loss for UTSA. Taking on 6-6 Miami of Ohio. Miami is a 3-point favorite. Gasparilla Bowl, a.k.a. the Battle of Florida. UCF, who's 8-4, taking on Florida, who's 6-6. And Florida's a 6.5-point favorite. And I don't know. I think I would pick Florida in that. I don't trust UCF. Any decent team that UCF played, they got hammered. But that's UCF's chance of proving that they're one of the best teams in Florida, like they've been saying. I'll be pulling for the Knights, though. I don't trust them yet. Good bowl, though. I think that's going to be a good one. The Hawaii Bowl. Memphis got bowl eligible. 6-6. They're going against Hawaii. 6-7. A team with a losing record is in a bowl. That's what I'm talking about. Those two bowls right there. The Frisco Football Classic and the Hawaii Bowl. Those two bowls should not be existing, but they are. And, of course, Hawaii's pretty much in the Hawaii Bowl every year anyways. So, yeah. I don't know why. I guess, it's easier for them or whatever, and nobody cares about it. We do have our first entry, and Anthony Zappin, you actually have 3 entries. Thank you for the $15 Super Chat. You're going to make me say it, aren't you? You're going to make me say it. In his comment, this is not my opinion. That's his opinion. Let's go Herd. That he said that, not me, okay? I only said that because it was his Super Chat. But anyways, since you Super Chatted $15, you have 3 entries. Email me your address, and I'll email you the bowl list. and then you can send your picks from each bowl. So there you go. You have 3 entries. I will count all 3 of them. So you might want to mix it up in case you're unsure of some bowls. Okay, so next up, the Camellia Bowl. 7-5 Georgia State against 6-6 Ball State. That's going to be a slobber knocker, ain't it? Georgia State favored by 4.5. No, thank you. The Quick Lane Bowl. 7-5 Western Michigan, a team that beat Pitt against 8-4 Nevada. Sneaky good out of the Mountain West. But Western Michigan, 3.5-point favorite. If the game gets interesting, I might watch it. Other than that, not too thrilled about it. The Military Bowl, 6-6 Boston College up against 7-5 East Carolina. BC, the 3-point favorite. 2 boring teams. Maybe the final score is going to be like 10-7. I don't know. The Birmingham Bowl, this one's a little surprising. Number 20 Houston, 11-2 against 6-6 Auburn. And Auburn's a 3-point favorite. That is some disrespect right there. That is some disrespect to Houston. I think Houston will beat Auburn, to be honest with you. Auburn had flashes of looking decent. And, of course, we know Bo Nix, he's out. He's hit the transfer portal. But other than that, Auburn has not. I mean, yeah, they did give Alabama a test, but that was a rivalry game, and I'm not even going to go into the SEC championship. I'm not even going to go there. Y'all already know. But in that game, yeah, I would at least put Houston the favorite, even if only by 1 point. But it is what it is. Vegas knows what they're doing, I guess. First Responder Bowl, 9-3 Air Force against 6-6 Louisville. Louisville, 1.5-point favorite. Don't really care. This next bowl, very interesting storyline. The Liberty Bowl, 7-5 Mississippi State against 6-6 Texas Tech. Mike Leach, the head coach of Mississippi State, going up against his old team in Texas Tech. And Mississippi State is an 8.5-point favorite. I think that should be higher. Mississippi State really got going at the end of the year. I think Mississippi State could hang 50 on Texas Tech. This could be like a 52-20, 52-24, something like that. I don't think it's going to be close. I really don't. The Holiday Bowl, 8-4 UCLA against 9-3, number 18 NC State, and the Wolfpack is favored by 1. I would actually put UCLA as the favorite. Number 1, I think UCLA is the better team. NC State, yes, they're ranked. They're 9-3. They have one more win than UCLA. But UCLA's schedule was tougher than NC State's. And there's another factor, travel. The Holiday Bowl is in San Diego State, and UCLA is right there in Los Angeles. So not much traveling going for them. I think that will go in UCLA's favor. So I would actually take UCLA in this game. That's my opinion. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl, 6-6 West Virginia against 8-4 Minnesota. Minnesota, 3.5-point favorite. That doesn't surprise me. But if you look at Minnesota's schedule, very, very easy. This is a toss-up. I could believe either one of these teams. I hope West Virginia wins, but it wouldn't surprise me if Minnesota won either. But I'm hoping that we finish strong in that game. The Fenway Bowl, SMU 8-4, 6-6 Virginia, and of course Virginia, the 2.5-point favorite. More disrespect on the AAC. I'm telling you, every time I go live, that's when everybody goes in and out the most, and that's when the cats go crazy as well. I mean, it's like a trigger. The Pinstripe Bowl. 2 more 6-6 teams. How about that? Maryland against Virginia Tech. West Virginia played both of these. I might watch this because I hate them both. And man, I think I would take Maryland in this, and they are favored by 1. Virginia Tech, their schedule was super soft. They didn't beat anybody, and they got blasted by anybody decent. I'm going to take the Terps in this. I think Maryland gets it done. The Cheez-It Bowl, number 19 Clemson. They did finish the season ranked. 9-3, had a chance to make the ACC championship, but they needed NC State and Wake Forest both to lose their last game. Of course, They both won their last game, so Wake Forest ended up making the championship game. They're going to be taking on 7-5 Iowa State. And whoa. Iowa State, the 1.5 point favorite. That's interesting, guys. That one surprises me. Not only would I have thought that Clemson would be the favorite as far as Vegas goes, but I would put, Clemson by 4.5, something like that. So that's maybe they just flipped a coin. I don't know. I would say that they're relatively close as far as how good they are, but I think Clemson's the better team. So yeah, that one that's an eyebrow raiser right there. I don't know about that one. Then of course the Alamo Bowl, number 14 Oregon 10-3, number 16 Oklahoma State 10-2. Both of these two teams, Oregon had that great win against Ohio State on the road, and then fell apart. I mean, they lost to Stanford and got blown out by Utah twice. Oklahoma also a letdown game. The Sooners are favored by 4.5. I agree with that because Oregon's best player on the team, Kayvon Thibodeau, he's going to be out. Yeah, I'll take Oklahoma in that matchup, but could be a crazy game. That one could be crazy. The Battle of the Carolinas, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, 6-6 North Carolina against 6-6 South Carolina, and North Carolina an 8.5 point favorite. I think they're focusing on the South Carolina that got blown out by Clemson 30-0, which that surprised me too. I thought it would be close. I really did. So, I mean, even if I don't totally disagree with North Carolina being the favorite, but 8.5, that's a big line. If I was going to favor North Carolina, I'd say by 2. But in my opinion, I would actually have South Carolina favored. I would have the line South Carolina -3. So that's a little bit of a head scratcher as well. Yeah, I would think South Carolina should be the favorite, but Vegas does what Vegas does. Music City Bowl, 7-5 Tennessee against 8-4 Purdue. Tennessee 4.5 point favorite. I don't disagree with that line, and that's not necessarily me saying that I think Tennessee is the better team. But Purdue ended on kind of a slide. They had a hot streak there for a while, and then they kind of fell off. And this game will be in Tennessee, so I expect a lot of Tennessee fans there. So, yes, I agree with that line. And Tennessee does have a pretty good offense. So, quite honestly, even though Purdue could still be the better team, this could turn out to be a blowout for Tennessee just because of all the wrong things coming together for Purdue at the wrong time. Cold at the wrong time. They were hot at one point, but they got cold at the end of the season. Tennessee has a great offense, and the ball is going to be played in Tennessee. So all those factors together, Tennessee could actually end up blowing out Purdue, even though Purdue might be the better team. It's just one of those circumstances where not always the better team wins. It's nuts. Las Vegas Bowl, 8-4 Wisconsin against 8-4 Arizona State. Wisconsin a 7-point favorite. I agree with that. Wisconsin ended the season hot, but they did lose to Minnesota to get knocked out of the Big Ten championship game. So that's really their only blip in the road to end the season. Arizona State was up and down. I mean, if we get the hot Arizona State, this could be a very interesting game. If we get the cold Arizona State, this could be a blowout in favor of Wisconsin. So this depends on which Arizona State we get. Arizona State is capable of being explosive and putting up 40 points, but Wisconsin also has a great defense. So I'm okay with Wisconsin favored by 7, and I probably would take Wisconsin. Gator Bowl. Man, on paper, it don't look interesting, but whenever you think about their seasons, this might be a decent game. Number 17, Wake Forest, 10-3, ACC runner-up, and they're going against number 25 Texas A&M, who's 8-4, and Texas A&M is a 5-point favorite. I think this is another just a notch for the SEC. I think this is going to be a good game, and I think Wake Forest has a really good shot of upsetting Texas A&M. Wake Forest, their offense is all but unstoppable, and Texas A&M is very wishy-washy. Yes, we all know they beat Alabama, but they also lost 4 games, and they did have a tough schedule. So that one could go either way. Wake Forest could pull off the upset, or Texas A&M could cover. That I literally told you nothing right there. I explained both sides, so I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That could be a good game because you don't know what's going to happen in that game for sure. Moving on to the Sun Bowl, Washington State against the Hurricanes of Miami. Both of those teams are 7-5. Miami a 2.5-point favorite. I think I would actually take Washington State because they ended the season hot. I think they're an underrated team, and so yeah, I would take the Cougars in that instance. And Miami is one of those teams where you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, they were never great, but they did have some decent games. They also had some terrible games. So, if Miami plays a decent game, will they beat Washington State? I don't think so. And they could also pull a stinker. So either way, I'm going with Washington State. Whether Miami pulls a stinker or whether they play their potential, slightly above average. I think Washington State is just the better team. I really do. I'm taking Washington State. The Arizona Bowl. Central Michigan, 8-4 against Boise State, 7-5. Boise State, 7.5-point favorite. I agree with that. Boise State, they had some letdown games, but they also went on the road and beat some teams that they shouldn't beat. So, I don't know about the 7.5. I would put it more at 3.5, but I do agree with who the favorite is. Boise State, yes. Now we're getting into the bigger bowls. The Outback Bowl. Well, two of these aren't. Well, one of these. No, I was right. Two of these aren't bigger bowls. Anyways, but this one is. Outback Bowl, 7-5 Penn State, letdown year against number 21 Arkansas, 8-4. Don't let that record fool you. Arkansas had the toughest schedule in the nation this year. I think I had Arkansas going like 4-8, 5-7, just because of their schedule. My gosh, they got through it. 8-4, ranked number 21. I'm taking Arkansas big in this one. I don't trust Penn State. They had a couple of good games. Other than that, no, they're not a very good team. And Arkansas navigated through that tough schedule. Compared to the schedule, Penn State would have probably been on the lower half as far as strength of schedule. I'm taking Arkansas, and I'm going to say Arkansas by 2 TDs. So I definitely do not agree with that line right there. Next up, good matchup, Citrus Bowl. Iowa, number 15, 10-3, going up against number 22, Kentucky, 9-3. Kentucky, 3-point favorite. I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm not picking Kentucky, but with Iowa, they have a dreadful offense. So if their defense has a bad game, they're done. Just like against Michigan, their defense didn't show up, or Michigan was just that much better. And of course, Iowa can't score, especially when they're behind. They have an elite defense, but if they get behind, they're done. So I'm okay with this line, but then again, Kentucky doesn't have, an awesome offense. So if Iowa keeps Kentucky under 20 points, Iowa could win the game. That could go either way. So it just depends on, this game hinges on Iowa's defense. If they play elite and can hold Kentucky under 20 points, Iowa will win. But they've had games where they couldn't do it. And if they don't do that, Kentucky will win. So Citrus Bowl, one of those bowls I'm going to be watching. Probably going to be a good one. Then the Texas Bowl, 6-6 LSU against 7-5 Kansas State. Kansas State 1-point favorite. Don't really care about this, but yeah, I agree with that. This is basically a toss-up game. Not really interested. Boring. 27-24 final score, something like that. Then the FCS Bowl. Why does the FCS have a bowl like that? I mean, they have their own playoffs. Why is there an FCS Bowl? I need to look that up because that makes no sense. Anyways, the Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State 6-5. The MEAC champs against Jackson State 11-1. The SWAC champs. Jackson State 10-point favorite. Agree with that all the way. Could be even worse than that. I would take Jackson State by 2 touchdowns. They are by far and away the better team. All right, now we're getting into the New Year's Six. All right, New Year's Six Bowl, which I already talked about one. No, I didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't. Yeah, that was the Gator Bowl. I have not mentioned the New Year's Six. Let's get into them. First up, the Peach Bowl. This could be the most boring New Year's Six Bowl of the group. If you like a lot of points. If you like defense, then it might be very interesting. Number 12, Pitt, 11-2 against number 10, Michigan State, 10-2. Michigan State is actually a 1.5-point favorite. That's a big slap in the ACC's face. Why is that? Well, it's because Pitt is the ACC champs, and Michigan State is third place in the Big Ten East. Not the Big Ten as a whole, but in their own division. Third in the Big Ten East. So a team that finished third in their division is favored over a team that won their conference. That is hilarious. I love it, especially since it's Pitt. As far as the game goes, I don't know what... These two teams are very similar. Very similar. They do have decent offenses, and they do have decent defenses. Pitt has the better quarterback. Michigan State has the better coach. Defense is a toss-up. I don't know. I agree with the line. I would put, Michigan State favored by 1.5. Pitt favored by 1.5. Coin toss, heads Pitt, tails Michigan State. I really have no idea. I think these two teams are very evenly matched, so it might actually turn out to be one of the best bowl games. But to me, on paper, it looks boring because I don't know. Neither one of those two teams are really exciting whenever I watch them. Moving to possibly one of the more boring New Year's Six, on to maybe one of the most exciting New Year's Six Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl. Number 9, Oklahoma State, 11-2 against number 5, Notre Dame, who's 11-1. And Notre Dame is favored by 2. I would actually have Notre Dame favored by maybe 6.5, just a shade under a touchdown. We saw Oklahoma State. Man, they have an elite defense, but if they allow a team to get off to a big lead, it's really tough for them to win. We saw that against Baylor. I mean, Baylor got off to a big lead, and then Oklahoma State clamped down on the defense, and Baylor did not score in the second half. Not one single point. Baylor still won 21-16, but that shows you how elite Oklahoma State's defense is. Now, the question is Notre Dame's offense better than Baylor's offense? I would say no, but I do think Notre Dame's defense is better than Baylor's defense. So this could turn into a, use up a ton of clock, take advantage of every possession, whether it's, of course, getting the touchdown, but making those field goals and pinning your opponent. Field position is going to play a major factor in this game. And it might come down to the punters as far as who can pin the other team the most times. It might come down to that. So I'll definitely be watching the Fiesta Bowl, but I don't expect a lot of points to be scored. We'll see what happens. Now we're going to move on to the game that I think we could see a crap ton of points for this game. I mean, this could be one of the highest scoring games in the entire bowl season, and that's the Sugar Bowl. Number 7 Baylor, 11-2 against number 8 Ole Miss, who's 10-2, and Baylor is favored by 1. Baylor is favored by 1. I'm okay with the line. I'm okay with how close it is. Baylor is the Big 12 champs, and Ole Miss can score a lot of points. These are going to be two elite offenses going at it. I think the score prediction could be 42-38, 42-35, 45-38, something like that. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I really do. So I'm going to be watching that game. That's going to be a lot of points, and I think it's going to be exciting. I think we're going to see. I think the chances of a trick play maybe are the highest in this one particular game. Out of all the bowl games that we watch, this might be the one that has the highest probability of trick plays. So I'm going to be watching the Sugar Bowl, and I think it's going to be entertaining. But again, coin toss. The Rose Bowl, number 11 Utah 10-3 against number 6 Ohio State 10-2. Utah Pac-12 champs. Ohio State finished second in the Big Ten East. Ohio State is favored by 6.5. A lot of people don't agree with that line because Oregon beat Ohio State and Utah hammered Oregon twice. That doesn't translate, guys. That does not translate. Number one, the Oregon-Ohio State game was early in the season. Number two, it looked like Ohio State was getting better throughout the year. Now, that last game against Michigan, they got hammered, but Michigan was better than what I thought. So I agree with this line. It might be a tad high. I would say Ohio State favored by 3.5, maybe 4, something like that. But it wouldn't surprise me if maybe it kind of got away from Utah a little bit and Ohio State wins by 10. And it wouldn't surprise me if Utah pulled the upset. But I think the line is fine where it is. I don't think it's too much, and I think it is under the right name. Utah is a good team. They did beat Oregon twice, but they also have 3 losses. So it could be that Utah was just a bad matchup for Oregon. That's what it looks like. Oregon, for whatever reason, had no answer for Utah. But other than that, Utah's not a great team. They're a really good team. Really good team. I don't know if they're quite up there with Ohio State. However, they will be playing with the underdog mentality. And just ask Boise State, that can help a lot. So going in with the underdog mentality, Utah is more than capable of upsetting Ohio State. They have talent. So it's not like an FCS going up against big bad Ohio State. Utah has talent, so it wouldn't totally surprise me if Utah pulled the upset. But I agree with the line here. Then, of course, the last 2 bowls remaining, the playoffs. First up, the Orange Bowl, 12-1, number 3 Georgia against 12-1, number 2 Michigan. Michigan, the Big Ten champs. Georgia, first in the SEC East, and Georgia is a 7.5-point favorite. A 7.5-point favorite. Michigan fans, you're not going to like me right now. I agree with that. And I'm not going through the scenarios again, what I talked about. I think the Georgia team that we saw against Alabama isn't the real Georgia team. That SEC championship game did not make sense at all. Georgia turned into a different team. Alabama turned into a different team. Georgia blew everybody out. Georgia and Alabama played 4 teams. The same team. Arkansas, Tennessee, Florida, and Auburn. Georgia blew every stinking one of them out. And everybody else as well. Auburn barely survived all 4 of them. Every single one of them. And they got beat by Texas A&M. I don't know what happened. Honestly, it looked fishy. The biggest thing that looked fishy to me, had I not seen this, I would have been like, no, it was just Alabama has Georgia's number. Kirby's a bad coach. He got outcoached. But I saw this. This is the one thing that made me, wait a minute here. The defensive line of Georgia got absolutely no pressure on Bryce Young. None. And Alabama struggled against an elite Auburn defensive front. How all of a sudden does Alabama's offensive line become elite to where they can block the defensive front of Georgia? I mean, any line that can block the defensive front from Georgia is an amazing offensive line. Before the SEC championship game, Alabama's offensive line was one of their biggest weaknesses. Look at the Auburn game. That Auburn defensive front had their way with Alabama's offensive line. And that right there, that's the one thing that I look at that something is not right. Something's not right. Bryce Young won the Heisman, rightfully so. Amazing quarterback. And Alabama did have the better quarterback, for sure. But a lot of teams, that Georgia played had the better quarterback. So that's not the end-all, be-all. And it was the Georgia's defensive line versus Alabama's offensive line. And what I saw, that made absolutely no sense. No sense at all. And that's why I think this line is correct. And that's why I think come playoff time, we will see the Georgia team that we saw in the regular season and not the Georgia team we saw one time. What are you going to believe? The one game you saw or the entire season that you saw? You're going to trust that one game that much. You think that one game is what the teams really were. Not the entire season, but the one game. Right? No, not me. That's not how my brain works. I'm going to believe what I saw in the entire football season, not just one game. So that's my rationale, and I'm sticking by it. So, yes, I agree with that line, and I think Georgia wins by 10 points. I'm hoping it's a good game. I hope Michigan, it would be kind of cool to see Michigan actually beat Georgia, so that would be cool. But I don't believe it. I think Georgia is still elite, and what we saw in the SEC Championship was something wasn't right. The last game, the Cotton Bowl, 13-0, number 4 Cincinnati against number 1 Alabama, 12-1. Alabama 13.5-point favorite. You talk about disrespect. That is some disrespect. Now, that's a tough one to call. It goes back to, do I believe the Alabama that I saw in the SEC Championship game, or do I believe the Alabama that I saw in the regular season? And I'm sticking by, I believe the Alabama that I saw in the regular season. So, having said that, I still think that Alabama wins this game, but I think this is going to scare the lights out of Alabama. I think Cincinnati puts a real scare into Alabama. So I'm going to say 31-28 Alabama with a chance for Cincinnati to upset. At the last possession, I think Cincinnati will have the ball with the chance to drive for maybe a game-tying field goal or a game-winning touchdown, and they run out of time. I think Cincinnati loses by running out of time. So I'm taking Alabama, but I think it's a close one. I think the 13.5 is disrespect, and it still reflects the SEC Championship game. Everybody is basing everything on that SEC Championship game. Throw out everything that we saw in the regular season. That SEC Championship game told us everything. No. You can blah, blah, blah all day long. Georgia was exposed. Alabama, still is the big dog. Alabama's the team to beat. No, I just, common sense. What I see, what my eyeball saw, the stuff that didn't make sense. Georgia's defense getting absolutely no pressure on Bryce Young. Go back and watch the game. Kirby Smart was not reacting at all. You go back and watch the regular season. Georgia up by 10. Georgia up by 3 touchdowns. When Georgia made a mistake, Kirby Smart was going nuts. Absolutely nuts on the sideline. Against Alabama, when they were getting beat, nothing. Guys, seriously. No, none of it made sense at all. So a lot of questions will get answered in the playoffs. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Alabama has just gotten on a really hot streak and they're finishing strong, back-to-back national championships. But I still stand by it. Something was up with the SEC championship. It made no sense whatsoever. Everything we saw in the regular season went out the window. Georgia got absolutely no pressure on Bryce Young, and they got pressure on everybody else. Combine that with the fact that Alabama's offensive line looked terrible the entire season, and yet all of a sudden, Alabama has an elite offensive line, and Georgia can get no pressure on Bryce Young. And add on to that Kirby Smart wasn't showing any emotion, any anger, nothing. He wasn't going crazy or anything. Guys, come on. No, that doesn't make sense at all. And I still don't. It's going to be an interesting playoffs, especially with my mindset. There's a lot of things that I still got to see to believe, because I do not believe that Alabama is elite. I just don't. One game isn't enough to convince me that they're elite. One game. No. See, here's the thing. Okay, so Cincinnati made the playoffs, right? Oh, they only had one good game, or one game worth mentioning at Notre Dame. Well, same thing for Alabama. I mean, you look at their entire season, they looked average at best. They lost to Texas A&M, barely beat Arkansas, barely beat Florida, struggled with Tennessee. I mean, if you're going to do it for one team, you got to do it for the other. Which is it, guys? Which is it? Do you judge an entire season off of one game? Seriously? No, that's not how it is. Yeah, and you can call me weak and wrong at the same time. That's fine. It's just my opinion. I go by what I see, not by one game. That's not that's not what I go by. I go by the entirety of the thing. So none of it made any sense. Watching two teams turn into one. It was like Georgia turned into Alabama of the regular season, and Alabama turned into the Georgia of the regular season. It was that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, and it still makes no sense. You can call me every name in the book. You can call me wrong. You can call me weak. You can call me stupid. That's fine. Okay? I still think what I think, because it doesn't make sense to me. And that's just my opinion. All right, so I'm about to wrap this up. I'm only going to do 1 hour live shows tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. And that will be your chance to get in on the bowl prediction contest. Same rules as the helmet contest. $5 through Super Chat and $5 through PayPal equals one entry for the bowl contest. So if you want more than one, it's $10 for two, $15 for three, and so on and so forth. But this is not a random drawing like for the helmet. And if y'all want to see the helmet that Raj won, he actually made a video on that. I left a link in the previous video earlier. It's a really good helmet, really cool helmet. But for this contest, you're going to guess the winner. We're not going against the spread, okay? Straight up, winner. What you'll do is you'll guess who you think is going to win every bowl game. And I just went through every single one of them. And just email me if you're not sure of how many bowls there are. I want to make sure you guess all of them so you don't miss one. Right now, Anthony Zappin is the only person that's entered. So he could be wrong on every stinking bowl, and he's still winning $100. That's the prize for this one, $100. Whoever wins, the grand prize is $100. And as of right now, Anthony Zappin with his $15, he has 3 entries. Nobody else has entered so far, so all he has to do is send an entry and $100. Boom, easy. He could get every stinking one wrong, but since he's the only one in so far, he would be the winner because I guarantee my prizes. It doesn't matter how many people enter. Same thing with the helmet thing. And go check out that video by Raj. I really like the helmet. It actually looked better him holding it than what I saw online. That was a really cool helmet. Georgia helmet, Georgia fan. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. So 2 more live shows for your chance to enter in my bowl prediction contest. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. and Thursday night, 7 p.m. The bowls start on Friday. So the deadline to send me your entries will be 7 p.m. on Friday, because once the bowls start, we're done. Because you can't guess after the fact, because, that's easy guessing. You'd guess the actual winner. So 7 p.m. on Friday, that is the absolute deadline of getting your entries in. So I'm going to end this live show. You'll have 2 more chances. I will go check my PayPal and see if anybody entered that way. And Joey, put in my email address so people can email me as well. I know Anthony, he's entered. I want to be able to email him to make sure he has all the balls to guess. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the live show. See, here's the thing. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, it's fine. I'm not doing this for everybody to just agree with me. I'm right, you're wrong, no matter. No. Of course I'm wrong, a lot. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, as long as you enjoy yourself, that's what it's all about. As long as you enjoy yourself, whether you're trash talking, bragging, sulking, crying, whatever, as long as you're enjoying yourself and having fun, that's what the channel's all about. And, I'm enjoying myself. We're on our way to 5,000, by the way. We are a little over 200 subscribers from 5,000. That blows my mind, guys. That absolutely blows my mind. I've been going at this for a little over 2 years. I hit 1,000 back in April, and we've just grown exponentially since. We're right there. We're knocking right on the doorstep of 5,000 subscribers. So, I can't be everywhere at once. So I need my subscribers. If you like this channel, go tell some people. Go tell a friend. Just one person. One person that could be the next step to 5,000. I do it everywhere. That's just how I am. So. But I can't be everywhere at once, so I need your help. Go tell a person about Golden Blue Dude. Tell them to check it out. Hit that subscribe button and see what they think. And we're going to get there, guys. I think we're going to get to 5,000 by the end of the year. That's the goal. 5,000 by 2022. We're going to do it. Anyways, that's all for tonight. We'll start talking about basketball here soon. Conference play should start getting ramped up, and the college football season start dying down. So we'll get to some college basketball, and whenever the brackets come out, I'll do a live show. I know that's in March, but last year we did a live show as the brackets came out. One of the most successful live shows I've ever had. So we're definitely going to do that again. I look forward to that. Anyways, y'all have a good night. I'm going to get off here, but I'll be back on tomorrow evening, 7 p.m., for another chance for you to get entered into the bowl prediction contest. $5 for Super Chat or PayPal equals 1 entry, and the grand prize, $100. I really couldn't think of a prize. I'll think of one in the future. We'll keep doing these. So for this time, it's just going to be money. How about that? $100. I think I covered everything. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Another hour live show and a bunch of nothing, trash talk, bowl talk, whatever. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.